It is R&R in the morning here on San Antonio Sports Star. He is Rudy J. I am Rob Thompson, and AA Best Bail Bonds is brought to you, the head football coach of your Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy. Morning, Coach. How's your day going?
It's going well. How's your day?
Man, I took
good,
the
Coach.
double vax, and I'm dealing with the post-vaccine issues, a little bit of brain fog, but, it is a Friday morning. So, Coach, as we start a Friday anew and you can get ready for the weekend, on a personal note, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Doing well. Looking forward to, Fast and Furious Friday, and just having a good day. I was real impressed with the work that we had yesterday. So, looking forward to getting the first 15 plays in on offense and defense and getting ready to go.
Is that standard, first 15? But since you've been, whether go back to your assistant coaching days, is that just like, because I remember hearing it way back when it was Mike Shanahan would put in his first 15. Is that become a standard around the league, Coach?
Yeah, I mean it's been a standard for quite some time. I mean the first coach that I heard about doing it was Coach Bill Walsh. And
Got you.
and I think everybody that came off of that tree, it kind of has taken that approach, and that's been going on for decades. So I'm pretty sure most people do it.
Does that first
just matter when you put it in? At what point during the week?
Got you.
How much of that first 15 plays into that predictability thing that we've heard this week?
Well, I mean that's part of it. I mean you have a first 15, and you're obviously always looking at yourself, Scott. I mean you don't put together a game plan without a self scout. So, but that's the part of the game when things don't go right, you have to sometimes answer questions about those things.
I guess this is a two-part question, Coach. When was the last time that you actually called your own plays, and is that something that you've ever even thought about here with the Cowboys?
Here with the Cowboys?
I mean, when was the last time?
Yeah,
yes, and then have you considered that in your tenure here with the Cowboys? It's a two-part.
Well, I mean, last time I called was 2018.
Okay.
And, as far as here with the Cowboys, I mean, Kellen's he's our offensive coordinator, and I have great confidence in him. I think like anything in this game, you have job responsibility and description that you put together, and you believe in it.
Right.
The only part I don't want to open anything up. I mean, I think anybody that's called plays, and when you're involved in a game and you're not calling it, you definitely miss it. I mean, I definitely miss the competition of it,
right,
without a doubt. But I have great confidence in what Kellen's doing. So yeah, I mean, do I miss calling the plays? Absolutely. I mean, it's you have to learn. I mean, really, since being here in Dallas, it was really learning a new position for me, and it took me probably 4 or 5 games to be the way I want to be on the headsets.
Right.
If you ever call plays, the absolute worst thing a head coach could do is he's in your ear all the time, particularly during the series. And I was guilty of that, early in the first year. But because the coordinator on both sides needs a clear line, and he needs specific communication, what's needed during the series. Because when the other side of the ball's up, that's when the chatter's at the highest.
Right.
Everybody's making the corrections and getting ready for the next series. So So,
Coach, we're all experts. We play Madden, so we know we all know how to call plays.
Yeah.
So forgive us if we bring our expertise to the conversation. Because I played Madden last night against an 8-year-old out of Japan, and I whooped him. So when we talk about the play calling and preparation, I'm really curious when you talk about your quarterbacks and the understanding of the playbook and the value of understanding the playbook with the level of skill that you have with a backup quarterback, and the value of having another quarterback that might not be able to use the entire playbook, but what he could understand by the nomenclature change and all that is really typical of changing schemes. What's more important to you, understanding all the book or being really good at a part of the book?
Well, at the end of the day, it's what's going to make you perform better on Sunday. I mean, if it's part of the book and you can play at an extremely high level, that's probably an excellent short-term solution. But the long-term solution is have a complete understanding, so that you can move in and out of concepts. You can advance your game plan. You don't become predictable. So I mean, that's really the difference between the two. I mean, and Cooper's a great example of, because a big part of an offensive system, for a quarterback, for the play caller, is the language.
Right.
That's the language is so important, and Cooper's been here, for a number of years, and so he knows, the origin of what each word, what the changes are, and things like that. So, I think just like anything, when there's an understanding of a scheme, but to know the in depth, the history and how it's all put together, right, I think it makes you more effective in your execution when you have a complete understanding.
Joined by Coach Mike McCarthy. Coach, when I think it was a few weeks ago, I heard you talking about, when you had a top 5 defense, you won a Super Bowl. I mean, it was crazy about that is if I remember correctly, 10, 11 guys on the IR. I can't remember, but how much are you
I think
going?
it was 17. I think it was 17, but
Let's not sell him short.
My
there,
bad,
Rudy.
Coach.
it's pretty high.
Hey, my bad, Coach. I just needed to remind the people that you did that. But how much are you going to rely on the defense to kind of set the tone and, make sure Cooper is fine? And are you going to lean more on the defense is what I'm saying while you have Cooper Rush?
No, that's a good point. But to be honest with you, I've always viewed, and it's my philosophy and the vision of what we put in place when I got here. The defense needs to be the thermostat for your football team week in and week out. They have to regulate the game. And I think last week was a great example. The defense just kept giving the offense, more
played well
after opportunity. So they kept us in the game, and it kept us in striking distance to win the game. So, and I feel strongly that we're built for that. So, and our defense is playing at a high level, and we have a lot of depth, and so. But yes, I think this defense definitely has that ability.
Coach Mike McCarthy here on San Antonio Sports Star, always brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Talking about the defense, when you face a guy like La'el Collins, how bad are you going to feel when you put on Micah all day long, judging by the tape I saw from La'el last week?
Well, I think it's like anything. I mean, it's there's more to a matchup than just one player on one player. So I mean, the biggest thing we focus on is, how are they going to help, either tackle when, for Micah. I mean, so Micah is, he's an elite player. He's going to get a lot of attention. I mean, he's going to see the chips and things that Tampa Bay went after him with, and that's a weekly challenge for him. So that's really, I mean, that's a bigger focus for us.
I guess we go down this injury tree, Coach. It's been a rough couple of years for you. When you look at McGovern, you got Curse. I know you talked about Gallup trying to get him into team drills versus just individual drills. Peters, where are we looking as far as offensive line and the injuries, and what are some of the adjustments y'all are going to be forced to make?
Well, I think we'll line up just the way we finished last week, and Jason Peters increased his workload yesterday, just as scheduled. So he's moving along.
So no Peters.
I think
no Peters. Okay.
No, Jason will not play this week. So, but yeah, I mean, our young guys are getting better. Josh Ball's been working clearly on the right side, inside and outside. So, Terrence Steele's a young man I have tremendous confidence in, and but he's still relatively young, and so we'll just stay the course.
Did we talk pre-snap with Mr. Steele this week?
Yes, sir.
We'll leave it at that. Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. Talk about number 68 plugging in there at left guard.
Farniok, is that how you say it, Coach? Do you know how to pronounce it? I think it's Farniok.
Farniok. Matt Farniok. Matt,
you just say Matt.
Yeah, well, that's easier. That's for sure. But no, Matt's. I tell you, he's got a lot of fire. And I think for him to go in there and play on the left side was impressive. Because the majority of his training is at center and right guard. So, yeah, he's done a fine job. And and both the young guys are going to have a bigger challenge this week, just because now that they got video, and the Bengals have a chance to study them, and so this is a heck of a defensive line. I mean, they're talented, and they got experience, and they play with a very, very, very high motor. So very impressed with the front of Cincinnati.
Speaking of your opponent, Cincinnati, Joe Burrow, 4 interceptions and a fumble last week. What is it about this Bengals team that helped them get to the Super Bowl, that watching them on tape, as far as both sides of the ball, that you see that's going to give you guys, maybe some cause for concern?
Well, I mean, the challenge is, you got, oppressed each and every week. I think their defense, it starts with their front, but their secondary is better in secondary. They jump routes. They're aggressive. I mean, particularly their safeties. I mean, I tell you that, the guy I really like is Logan Wilson's a very, very
Yes.
very productive, middle linebacker. So, I'd like the way their scheme. It's an uncommon opponent, so obviously you spend a little more time on the video this week, with the players just to rep it through more, because we played them 2 years ago up there in Cincinnati, but offensively, I mean, you got to be really impressed with this perimeter group. I mean, my goodness, I mean, it's I always used the formula of the 5 perimeter positions,
Mm-hmm.
and they have 5 legitimate players in all 5 positions. They actually 3 receivers, a hell of a back, obviously a great young quarterback, and and the tight end that they added too is a heck of a player. So Hurst, but this is a very, very talented offense. So this will be a great challenge Sunday.
Lastly, Coach, when I'm looking at CD, what, in your experience, how long does it take a receiver that wasn't the, I guess, whatever y'all want to call the one? How long does it take to make that adjustment into being the guy that defenses focus on, but yet you still get your touches, you still get your routes off, you still doing your thing? In your experience, how long does it take for a receiver to make that turn?
Well, I mean, I don't really think CD needs to make a turn. I
Okay.
mean, CD in my mind, what he's done already on his first 2 years. We have great confidence in the caliber of player that he is. It's just we just got to continue to make sure he's getting opportunities. That's really our focus, and CD will deliver.
He will deliver. He had plenty of opportunities. Had a few drops. I mean, I know you don't address that. It's just one of those things. But there was certainly a focus there.
Yeah, it's one game. So
absolutely.
When we get to
Absolutely.
we get to the end of the ride. I think we'll look back and.
You know how we are, Coach. You know how after one week the
house
is on fire.
We're knee-jerk captains here, man.
The house is on fire, Coach. You know how this goes. You've been doing this too long. You know how we do, and us fans do, and us media guys do. The house is on fire. What are we gonna do? How? When? Where?
Well, we're gonna put it out, and we're gonna go burn this house down.
Hey man,
I can tell you, just keep fighting and keep working. And it's really some of this is part of September football too. I mean, and I know I'm very conscientious of it. That's why you try to spend a little more time with the fundamentals and so forth. So we have work to do. There's no question about that. We understand that. And but at the end of the day, you got to line up Sunday and go win, and that's what we're all about.
How much of this focus was on the locker room and upbeat and being, did you bring in a comedian, like a magician or something to get everybody off the mindset of a rough Sunday, or do you just put your head down, let's work twice as hard kind of thing?
No, this is a very strong locker room. The veteran leadership is top notch. So we really, we went through it in detail on Monday, and really they came in here Wednesday ready to work. So it's actually Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday was a good day. It was a good solid Wednesday. We're still getting through the kinks of look teams and things like that. That it's all normal process early in the year. But I really liked yesterday's practice. So we got that to build off of.
It's a fast and furious Friday. We get Mike McCarthy with it every Friday, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, thanks for stopping by today. We appreciate you being forthright and all that. Best of luck this week, and we bid you good health. We'll talk to you next Friday.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a great week.
You too.
Coach Mike McCarthy joining us here on San Antonio Sports Star. We didn't bring up the fact that our taco guy was on IR.